can everyday experiences we might overlook teach us valuable lessons about branding? It's a little off the beaten path, but definitely insightful. And today we're talking all about it. I'm Peachy Williams, the Brand Voice Builder. As a business owner, I understand that building a brand doesn't happen overnight. It's all about positioning yourself to build, brand, and grow. If you're an entrepreneur or one in the making, you're in the right place. Let's get into it. I'm going to set a scene. Imagine you're walking down the aisle of your local grocery store, just minding your business, maybe even on autopilot. You reach for that familiar box of cereal without giving it much thought. Why? Because that brand has managed to embed itself into your daily life in such a way that it feels almost second nature. But what can we, as brand builders, learn from this simple act? Let's talk about everyday branding lessons. The first scenario, grocery shopping. The next time you're in that cereal aisle, I want you to take a moment and notice which boxes catch your eye. Is it the bright colors, the large, bold fonts, or maybe it's the familiar character smiling back at you? For me, I've always noticed how certain brands position themselves on the shelves. Eye level, easy to grab, and often with an enticing offer like buy one, get one free. And this, my friends, is no accident, because brands fight for that prime real estate because they know it directly impacts purchasing decision. So that leads me to lesson number 1. Strategic placement is key. In your own branding, let's think about how you position yourself. Are you visible to your target audience? Are you placing yourself in spaces where they're most likely to find you? Whether it's online or offline, strategic placement can make all the difference. Let's shift to a more relaxing scenario. How about a day at the beach? You're lying there on your towel, enjoying the sun, and suddenly you notice that the beach is filled with familiar logos. From the brand of the cooler you use to the sunscreen you're putting on your body, even the umbrella next to you has a logo that you recognize. Sound familiar? This is great brand consistency. And that's lesson number 2. Consistency is crucial. Brands that are easily recognizable often maintain consistent visual elements. Think about your own brand's logo, colors, and fonts. Are they consistent across all your platforms? Is your brand immediately recognizable in a sea of competitors? Consistency helps build trust and recognition, so make sure your brand elements are as reliable as that beach umbrella on a sunny day. Finally, let's talk about dining out. Because when you walk into your favorite restaurant, there's a certain vibe that just feels right? Maybe it's the decor, the music, or the way the staff greets you. All these elements work together to create a cohesive experience that you've come to expect from that particular brand. And that's lesson number 3. Create a cohesive brand experience. Just like that restaurant, your brand should offer a seamless and cohesive experience to your audience. Whether they're interacting with you on social media, visiting your website, or experiencing your product or service, the feel of your brand should be consistent and enjoyable. Now that we've walked through some everyday scenarios, let's talk about how you can apply these lessons to your own brand. Strategic placement. First, consider where your brand is showing up. Are you visible in the places that matter most to your audience? This could be anything from the social media platforms where you can find your audience to the physical locations they visit. If you're not sure where your audience is, it's time to take that time and research to understand their habits. Because once you know where they are, you need to make sure your brand is there too. Front and center. Consistency. Next, I want you to think about the consistency of your brand elements. Are your logo, colors, fonts, and messaging the same across all platforms? Now, consistency isn't just about aesthetics. It's about building a reliable and trustworthy brand. If your audience knows what to expect from you, they're more likely to return and become loyal customers. Cohesive experience. Finally, focus on creating a cohesive brand experience. This means aligning every touch point of your audience that they have with your brand. From customer service to product packaging, you need to have your overall brand identity front and center. The goal is to make every interaction feel like a natural extension of your brand. So there you have it, branding lessons from everyday life. Who knew? A trip to the grocery store, a day at the beach, or a night out, they could teach us so much about branding. So now I challenge you to start paying attention to the everyday moments in your life and see what branding lessons you can uncover. It's amazing what you'll find when you look at the world through a branding lens. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with someone who might find it helpful. And of course, I'd love to hear your own branding observations. So hit me up on social media and let's keep the conversation going. Until next time.